Hello and welcome to today's science lesson. Now, today is going to be different because we already finished the course book or the pupils book. So we will go through what's left in the workbook and go through the homework that we had the last time. And then we will have a quick review of as much as possible, as much as we can cover in the pupils book. So let's go ahead and go to the workbook. The last page that was homework was page, let's see. The last page that was homework was something that we already finished. It's just that we had learned these rhymes about the weather. Now, I hope you did something with these because they do seem a bit fun. And I just wanted to take a look at these before I went to the review stage of the episode. And also the pictures that we had here. I would love to see the pictures that you drew because I'm pretty sure they're just as great, well, much better than this at least. Okay, so that's great. Now let's go back to the course book, or the pupils book, and let's go to page 54. Page 54, using materials. Okay, so here we use different materials to make different things. Okay, so that's what we did last time in the first episode. We have four types of people here, or four jobs of people who make things. Okay, we have a carpenter, a potter, a leather worker, and a metal worker. Okay, so a carpenter uses wood to make things. So they use wood to make things such as chairs, tables, and many other things. Let's see if we have any examples here for a carpenter. Okay, so carpenter makes things like chairs. Let's see what else. Tables, like this one. This is made of wood. So this is wood, and a carpenter made this. So it's made of wood, and a carpenter made this table. Many other things are made of wood, and we can say that the carpenter made them. So anything that is made of wood is made by the carpenter. Okay, a carpenter. I would get a notebook if you've got one, and I would take the spelling of this word and write it here just to get used to writing it correctly. So if you have a notebook, you can take it out now so we can write it down. Carpenter. Carpenter. What does he use? Wood. To make what? Well, chairs. / tables. And many other things that he can make with wood. So we can just add a dash here just to separate. So a carpenter uses wood to make chairs and tables. Of course, many other things as well, but these are just an example. Okay, next we have a potter. Okay, so let's write it down. A potter. There are different ways you can pronounce this word. You can say potter or potter. These are both pretty viable, but I personally say potter. Potter. Okay, what does a potter use? Clay. Okay, to make what? Well, the thing that we have here is a pot. Now, a potter can make different things like vases or the thing that we keep the money in. So these are all things made by the potter. But let's just write down pot so we don't confuse ourselves. Pot is made by the potter out of clay. Okay, so who is he? He's a potter. He uses clay to make pots. Let's write it in plural. Okay, so that's the next one. Now next we have leather worker. Leather worker. Okay, now a leather worker uses cloth. Now here we have two things, cloth and leather. Okay, so a leather worker uses cloth and leather. His name is leather worker, but he can use two things, or he can use two materials to make different things. So what does he make? He can make bags. Let's see what else. Well, he can make belts as well. Belts, I like this. Let's see if I have a picture in the next few episodes, the next few pages. No, we don't. It was actually in the work. Oh, here. This is like, this is a belt. So a leather worker also makes belts. Okay, so a leather worker uses cloth and leather to make bags and belts. Okay, so that's until now. We have carpenter, potter, and leather worker. Okay, the last one is metal worker. He uses metal to make things like pots. Now, the difference between pots here and here is that the pots here can't handle heat, so you can't cook in them. But here, cooking pots, they can cook in them, they can do anything in them, so it's fine. They can handle the heat, the cold, anything you throw at them. But the clay pots cannot. Let's see other things that are made of metal. A wrench. You can write a wrench. Okay, and wrench. Okay, so two things, pots and wrench or wrenches, that's fine as well. Okay, so now I want you to listen and repeat. We're going to go through all of these jobs or people who make things. Okay, carpenter, carpenter, wood, wood, chairs and tables, chairs and tables. Great. A carpenter uses wood. A carpenter uses wood to make chairs and tables. To make chairs and tables. Okay, good. Next, potter. Potter. Clay. Clay. Pots. Pots. A potter uses clay. A potter uses clay to make pots. To make pots. Good. Leather worker. Leather worker. Cloth and leather. Cloth and leather. Bags and belts. Bags and belts. A leather worker uses cloth and leather. A leather worker uses cloth and leather to make bags and belts. to make bags and belts. Good. A metal worker. Metal worker. Metal. Metal. Pots and wrenches. Pots and wrenches. A metal worker uses metal. A metal worker uses metal to make pots and wrenches. To make pots and wrenches. Okay, great. I'm gonna write the words here. So first we say A. Carpenter uses wood to make. So whenever you want to use things in the middle to write them in a sentence, you can say a potter uses clay to make pots. A leather worker uses cloth and leather to make bags and belts. So here this one means and. Okay? So whenever you want to say a sentence, you can say it this way. A metal worker uses metal to make pots and wrenches. Okay? So that's it for this one. I would recommend that you listen again and try to repeat the words if you didn't get the pronunciation correctly until you get it correctly, and then you can move on. Now, the last time we made a pot, it was very small and we made it with our hands. We had the clay, put it in our hands, we put a hole in it, and then we made it bigger and we put it in the sun to dry. And so it became hard. Now, if you take a look at the picture here, this is how professionals make pots. So it's a circle with something under it. So a circle with something under it. So this is the circle. It's here, and there's something under it. It goes and it keeps going around and around, and you can put your hands like this, and it will make the shape of a pot, and you can shape it until the end here, so you can make the bottom of it, and then you will have it like this. So you can see this goes around, and he only has to make shapes using his hands. So this is how professionals make pots. Although the pot you made is just as good, but this is how professionals make pots, because they need to make a lot in a short time. And the ways that we use is not really efficient to make pots really quickly. But this one is much, much better. Okay, of course we did all of these. We did this, a carpenter makes things with wood, so on. It's not that important. This is a good thing to remember. This is how people used to make cloth. Now machines are used to make cloth. So cloth in the past used to be made like this. So they had lines. They had a couple of lines here, and they took a needle and they put the needle here, and they go up and down, up and down, up and down, until they make a piece of cloth that people can use to make clothes, shirts, and many other things. But now machines do that because machines can do it much faster and much more efficiently. So that's why that has changed with time. Okay, now if you have any questions about this unit, you can always comment or send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to help you with the best in the best way I can. Okay, solids and liquids. Solids are hard, they keep their shape. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next page. So I'm going to write about solids and liquids. Okay, so we have solids on one side, we have liquids on the other. Okay, now solids are hard. Okay, liquid pours and flows. Okay, so solids are hard, so you can touch them and feel them. These are all solids. You can touch and feel them, and they are hard. Liquid is not hard. Liquid is something that pours and flows. So it takes the shape of whatever container it's in, and it's something that can move its shape much easily, or very easily. So that's how it's the main difference between liquids and solids. Now, solids keep their shape. Keep their shape. Okay, liquid changes shape. Now, the chain only changes shape based on the container it's in, otherwise it doesn't. So solids are hard and keep their shape. Liquids pours and flows and changes shapes. Okay, great. Now let's give examples for solids. Now, what's solid? This is wood. So wood is solid. What else is solid? Metal. What else? Pencil. So these are all solids. These are things that do not change shape and are hard. So these are hard and they keep their shape. So let's put a rectangle over them so it's very clear. Liquids, well, the most common liquid that we see every day is water. Water, okay? Another common liquid is oil. Oil. Another common liquid is orange juice. Okay. Okay, so water, oil, and orange juice. See, these are the most common liquids that we see every day. So let's put a line here so we can separate both of them. So solids and liquids. Solid is hard and it keeps or keep their shape. Liquids pour and flow and it changes shapes. An example of solid is wood, brittle, and pencil. An example of a liquid or liquids is water, oil, and orange juice. So these are the examples of both materials, okay, or both objects. Now here are things we've done in the past. A shell is solid, cooking oil is liquid, a desk lamp is solid, orange juice is liquid, a chair is solid, and glasses are solid. A watch is solid as well. Our hand is solid as well because it doesn't change shape. It moves, that's right, but it doesn't change shape. It's still a finger and it's still a hand. So that's the difference between changing shapes and moving. Now take a look at the notebook. Now the notebook here, the pages move, but they still keep their shape. They're still pages, so it didn't change into something else. But as for water, if you put it in any other thing, it changes its shape and it will look different. So if you put it in a bottle, let's take a look here. Let's look at the containers. If you put it in a bottle, it will look like a bottle. If you put it in a bucket, it will look like a bucket. If you put it in a bowl, it will look like a bowl, and so on and so forth. So that's the difference between liquids and shapes. Liquids change their shape, solids do not. Even though if they can move, that's fine, but they're still fingers. So here you can say they changed shape. No, they didn't change shape. They're still the same. So I move them, and then at the end, they're still fingers. But as for water, you can put it in different things, and it will change its shape. Okay? So this is the same thing here. A solid keeps its shape. A liquid can pour and flow in whatever container it's in. This is a good example. They put the water from one container into another, and it looks different because it took the shape of the container it's in. Okay, we have a couple of review questions that we already did here before. All of these are solids. Most of these are solid as well, except for this. This is liquid. The others are solids. Here, the ice cube is solid, the water is liquid, the cup is solid, the water is liquid. The container is solid, the oil is liquid. Okay, so that's it for today's review, solids and liquids. I hope this refreshed your memory and you understand them a bit better. As always, I'm available for questions. Feel free to comment in the comments below, and I will definitely answer and try to help you the best way I can. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.